2025, og Kraus er tilbage på YouTube. Hvad sker der? Damn, Kraus var tilbage på YouTube, før GT6 kom ud. Men ja, hvad så boys? Jeg har savnet jer. Jeg håber, I har savnet mig også. Og jeg har også savnet at reagere på nogle vanvittigt fede videoer. Så prøv at se, hvad jeg har fundet her. 6 minutter og 46 sekunder med Unreal. Utrolig fodbold. Facts fra Ball Culture. Tjek ham ud. Link nede i beskrivelsen. Og lad os da bare se, hvad han har at byde på.
Harry Maguire, the most expensive defender ever, has been relegated 4 times.
Damn.
Once with Sheffield United, twice with Hull City, and once with Wigan. Mark Hughes played for Bayern Munich. Okay. Jeg kan godt lide, at vi bare sådan lægger dem flat ud. Bum. Altså, starter videoen fact 1. There we go. Og vi har bare videre til fact 2 bagefter. Men vildt nok, 4 gange kan jeg alligevel med Harry Maguire. Hold da kæft, mand. Ramsdale, han går for den rekord, kan jeg godt mærke. Nå, anyways, Mike Hughes. Wales on the same day. He just completed his transfer from Barcelona, and Bayern CEO Uli Hoeneß was desperate to see him play in the pre-season.
What?
So after his midday game with Wales in the Czech Republic, he got on a plane across the border and got on during the second half of Bayern's game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Portsmouth held the FA Cup for the longest time, despite only winning it once. The FA Cup was sitting in their trophy cabinet for 7 consecutive years, as they were the last team to win the title before World War II broke out, and the competition was postponed.
Det har været noget anden verdenskrig, der kom ind der, men altså sygt nok, og big up Mark Hughes også. Kæmpe igen. Det er jo det, man sådan kun kender ham lidt som sådan en meme-træner, for han var faktisk en ret stor fodboldspiller back in the days. Men ja, lad os så videre. Nej, når du ved, når en sætning starter med Bobby Zamora, så ved du, det kan blive crazy der.
Obafemi Martins are the only 2 footballers to have scored penalties with their right and left foot in the Premier League.
Som jeg sagde, man ved bare, det er en crazy fact. Det er skørt.
Alvin Martin once scored a hat-trick against 3 different goalkeepers in one match. While playing for West Ham, he scored against Martin Thomas, Newcastle's first choice keeper. After he got injured, he scored against Chris Hedworth, a midfielder who filled in. And then finally, Peter Beardsley, a forward who stepped in as West Ham won the game 8-1.
Okay, men så han scorede 3 forskellige målmænd, og det var kun faktisk den ene af dem, der faktisk var sådan real målmand. Det er skørt, by the way. Jeg ved ikke, om jeg kan få noget... Jeg tænker faktisk, jeg burde få nogle undertekster på. Jeg ved ikke, hvor... Det er jo autogenereret undertekster, så jeg ved ikke, hvor gode de er, men jeg tænker, det er nok en god idé, for jeg der gerne vil følge lidt med, og måske ikke kan forstå, hvad han siger. Så vi prøver, og hvis de ikke passer helt præcis, så er det ikke min skyld. Men vi prøver.
Forward who stepped in as West Ham won the game 8-1. Second division Romanian defender Marius Chora was once sold for 15 kilograms of pork sausages, the shortest managerial reign of all time.
Hold on, du kan ikke bare casually smide den ind. What the fuck? Okay, 15 kilo grise, eller sausages, pølser. Okay, sindssygt.
It was just 10 minutes by Leroy Rossignol.
What?
It was made public that he had been appointed manager by Torquay United. But 600 seconds later, it was announced that his services had been disposed of, as the club had been taken over. Football fan Adrian
10 minutter Undskyld, jeg pauser hele tiden. Det her, det forstår jeg ikke.
Made public that he
10 minutter. Så 10 minutter senere, så kom der et takeover, hvor han blev fyret. Men undskyld, kunne man ikke, hvis man vidste, at klubben var ved i gang med et takeover, ville man så ikke måske lige vente med at hyre en ny træner? Jeg forstår ingenting. Det er fucked up. Undskyld, jeg pauser hele tiden. Vi kører nu.
Manager by Torquay United. But 600 seconds later, it was announced that his services had been disposed of.
Det er den mest crazy fact, der har været indtil videre. Det kan jeg slet ikke forstå det der.
The club had been taken over. Football fan Adrian Hayward won £25,000 after betting on Xabi Alonso to score from the halfway line for Liverpool during the 2005-06 season. After seeing it in a dream, Hayward went to see the bookmaker and put £200 on the halfway goal bet, with odds of 125 to 1. Needless to say, Alonso did score from the halfway line.
But it's crazy.
And Hayward was one happy man.
Det er jo sådan noget God intervention type shit. Hvordan er det med homo? Bro, okay, sygt nok.
Because of Notts County, Juventus originally played in pink.
Det er rigtigt.
When it rained, they found that the shirts ran. They asked an English associate of the club to source the new kits.
Det er den første
fact
indtil videre, jeg faktisk har vidst.
White strip, which they have played in ever since.
Det er crazy.
When Sweden plays Denmark, the match coverage shows it short to spell Sweden, and the letters left over spelled Denmark. The same phenomenon occurs when Poland play Andorra. Emerson Palmieri is the only player to have won the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, UEFA Conference League, UEFA Super Cup, and the UEFA European Championship. In the 1980
What the? Okay. Emerson, big up.
Copa del Rey final, Real Madrid played against their academy team and won 6-1. Sevilla's 3 consecutive Europa League wins all came with different keepers starting in the final. Sergio Rico, Beto, and David Soria. But all 3 of the keepers were at the club during all 3 of those seasons.
Så alle 3 keepers var faktisk med til, altså med i den pågældende Europa League campaign, men spillede hver efter.
Australia were the first to use numbers on jerseys. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi.
Okay, det var bare en random kort fact.
Australia were the first to use numbers on jerseys.
Det er bare de første til alting, bro. Det er også dem, de har også nytår før os. Altså det er jo også fucking snyd. Nu skal de også have tal før os. Hvad foregår der?
Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi were born 869 days apart. Their eldest sons, Cristiano Jr. and Thiago, were also born 869 days apart. All of Antoine Griezmann's children were born in different years, but share the same birthday. Antoine Griezmann,
samme fødselsdag, 3 år.
Voiced Superman in the French Lego Batman movie, and Manuel Neuer voiced Frank McKay in the German Monsters University movie.
Genialt. Okay, det er mit spørgsmål efter det. Hvilken dansk spiller vil vi gerne se begynde at lave voice acting? Mit bud, hvad er mit bud der? Stig Tøfting. Han er deroppe. Han har den der sådan lidt hvad kalder man det? Sådan lidt kras i stemmen. Der er noget potentiale der. Stig Tøfting, du ringer bare. Agent.
Juan Mata never won the Premier League.
Ja, det er også skørt. Det er trist. Det er så trist med Juan Mata. Efter han skrev til United, ned ad bakke.
Footballers have won the Champions League back-to-back with different clubs. Gerard Piqué, Paulo Sousa, Marcel Desailly, and most impressively Samuel Eto'o, who won back-to-back trebles with Barcelona and Inter Milan. Luis Suarez, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Robert Lewandowski, and Cristiano Ronaldo are the only players to have scored a goal in every minute of the game from 1 to 90. Ronaldo,
Zlatan, Lewandowski,
are the
Ronaldo,
only players to have scored a goal in every minute of the game from 1 to 90.
Okay, samling,
Scotland had a 100% penalty shootout record. During Project Restart in 2020, Willian became the first player to score a Premier League goal every month of the calendar year.
Det er rigtigt. Ja, det er også rigtigt. Det er også vildt. Fordi, ja, vi jo spillet i juni.
Rangers manager Alex McLeish attempted to loan Lionel Messi from Barcelona after his son had scouted him in a game of Championship Manager. Dutch side NAC Breda's full club name is this unpronounceable monstrosity, which translates in English to never give up, always persevere, pleasant through entertainment, and useful through relaxation.
Altså bare et fedt klubnavn lige der.
In 1967, Wolves, Stoke, and Sunderland played domestic football in the USA. The newly formed United Soccer Association lifted whole teams from Europe and implanted them to America. The clubs were renamed LA Wolves, Cleveland Stokers, and Vancouver Royals respectively, with the squads and coaches going over to compete for these teams. Wolves ended up winning the one and only season the league played. In 2014...
Hvad? Det vidste jeg slet ikke engang var en ting, men altså, thank God, det er ikke længere en ting. Så siger jeg det, giv det på år, så UEFA, de har fucket det hele op.
3 Chelsea goalkeepers were awarded clean sheets in a 0-0 draw with Atletico Madrid. Mark Schwarzer came off the bench to replace Petr Cech in the 18th minute. Schwarzer didn't concede, and neither did the Atletico keeper, Thibaut Courtois, who was on loan from Chelsea. David Beckham and David Moyes used to play together.
Det er sygt nok, altså sygt nok sådan, at man lige går over på den anden side, det ødelægger staten. Jeg tror faktisk, det var sådan 3, du ved, på samme hold, men fair enough.
Beckham and David Moyes used to play together. Moyes was at Preston North End from...
Bro, det der billede af David Moyes, det er cursed. Altså, bro, jeg føler, han stiger i sjælen på mig. Det er faktisk virkelig scary. En kæmpe jumpscare.
1993 to 1999, with Beckham joining him on loan for the 1994-95 season. In 1941, Rapid Vienna won the German Championship. Former Birmingham City...
Ja, kan jeg vide, hvordan det kunne lade sig gøre. Okay, det er trist.
Director Karen Brady once sold her husband, Paul Pesci-Solido, to Stoke for £400,000. Ferenc Puskas, the greatest former Birmingham City director Karen Brady once sold her husband.
Nå, hun var direktør. Den havde jeg ikke lige fået med. Jeg har bare fået at vide, at hun var konen, og solgte ham og tænkte,
Pesci-Solido to Stoke for £400,000.
Hun gjorde det så som, ja, hun var ligesom direktør i klubben.
Ferenc Puskas, the greatest Hungarian footballer ever, played for Spain at the 1962 World Cup. Back then, eligibility rules didn't really exist, so he switched nationality, as did his teammate Alfredo Di Stefano, from Argentina to Colombia.
Kunne man bare gøre det? Hvad? Kunne du bare sådan casually sige, nå, bro, ved du hvad, det er sgu kedeligt at vinde det hele med Spanien. Lad os tage en lille challenge her. Venezuela. Road to VM. Altså hvad? Ja, altså, Di Stefano har så gjort det samme fra Argentina til Colombia, og så selvfølgelig Spanien, skulle jeg sige. Det vidste jeg så godt faktisk.
Alex Ferguson took over at Manchester United, Aston Villa were the more successful club. In 1986, Both sides had 1 European Cup and 7 league titles apiece. However, the Villains had 1 more FA Cup than the Red Devils.
Damn!
Thomas Galasek was involved in both games that used the silver goal rule. Unlike the golden goal where the team who scores first in extra time wins the match instantly, the silver goal dictates the game ends if a team is leading at half time of extra time. The only silver goal in international football was in the Euro 2004 semi-final between Greece and the Czech Republic, and the only silver goal in club football came in a Champions League qualification match between Ajax and Grazer AK. Luka...
Og så var han involveret i begge kampe. Det er faktisk en ret crazy statistik, også fordi den der silver goal rule er faktisk en anden video, jeg havde tænkt, jeg også kunne sjovt at reagere på. Helt sådan random, hvad man bare kører med den i en lille periode. Og så synes jeg så, det var fair nok, at man ligesom fik golden rule i stedet, eller golden goal i stedet for.
And Mark Viduka are cousins. Viduka's father, Joe, was from Croatia, but emigrated to Australia in the 1960s.
Oh, random.
Every player who played in Shinji Kagawa's first international game for Japan against Ivory Coast was still playing professional football 10 years later. Former Manchester United prodigy Axel Tuanzebe held the Guinness World Record for the fastest game of Hungry Hippos, clearing the game in 17.36 seconds.
Boys, det var derfor vi så den her video her. Det er for crazy football facts, som den der. Axel Tuanzebe, Hungry Hippo, Guinness World Record. Ja, det er ikke engang, jeg skal sige.
Peter Crouch has more Premier League assists than Paul Scholes, with 58 and 55 respectively. Former Barcelona and Arsenal Paul Scholes.
Peter Crouch har flere assists end Paul Scholes. Og det er meget overraskende for, også fordi Crouch var angriber. What? Han var selvfølgelig så også den klassiske spille den op på man, så han selvfølgelig også nok kunne lægge den af mange gange, men alligevel.
With 58 and 55
meget overraskende stat.
Former Barcelona and Arsenal midfielder Alex Song has 27 siblings, 17 sisters and 10 brothers.
Hvordan?
Kostel Pantilimon is the first Romanian to win the Premier League. He is also the tallest player to win the Premier League.
Ja, bro, keeper, han var fucking monster. Altså, du har bare Joe Hart ved siden af, som jo selv er rimelig høj. 203 cm, ja. Crazy.
Former Spurs midfielder Moussa Dembele once went 6 months without being tackled in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The man to dispossess him was Didier Ndong.
Det mener jeg faktisk, jeg har set den stat før. Sådan helt den meget random stat, men well fair. Sygt nok. Fed video. Fed video. Ball culture. Jeg er virkelig ked af, at sådan pause mange gange sådan noget der. Det er bare sådan, jeg vil faktisk gerne have de her facts med, men jeg er ikke klar over, at det er sådan speedfire, eller speed, sådan en quickfire, hvad nok ordet jeg lige efter sådan en video, hvor han bare sådan hjernede igennem dem, så jeg kan jo rigtig sådan noget at snakke om i dybden, men alligevel vildt fed video, så kæmpe shout-out. Tjek dem ud, linken i beskrivelsen, og ja, mine damer og herrer, så håber jeg bare, I er nødt at se lidt reaction-video fra mig af. Håber, at det er noget, jeg kan fortsætte med også, så hvis det er noget, I har lyst til at se mere, smid et like selvfølgelig, lad mig høre, hvad jeg synes, noget i kommentaren, og så subscribe selvfølgelig, så I altid bliver mindet om fremtidige uploads, og så er der ikke bare andet at sige, end vi ses selvfølgelig i næste video. Peace out.